Hello, everyone. I am here today with Ruowen Huang, and we are happy to be here on my wall this week. Those of you that want to see our last week broadcast, you can go to her wall, and you should be seeing at the bottom her website. And today we're going to be talking about panic and fears and anxiety.
Our most favorite topic.
And it's because Joanne always wants to have fun, so that's why we're going to talk about anxiety today.
In a fun way, in a fun way.
Fun and anxiety. So for me, I have always explained to my clients that we go from stress, overwhelm, fear, and then the next level is anxiety, and the next level is panic attack. I hope most of you are not going to get there. But those of you that already have, I just have a question for Joanne. How would that work in a spiritual world, from the psychic point of view, to get rid of this crazy anxiety that everybody's having because of this crazy COVID?
Okay.
What can we do?
First, I want to describe what it's like in the psychic's eye when I look at someone who is calm and when I look at someone who is having panic attack. Visually, the vibration around them is different. When I'm looking at someone who's confident and calm, their vibration go very smoothly up and down. So it go from their center core, it radiate out in a very peaceful type of wave. Like I can feel that or see that. When I'm seeing someone who have a panic attack or fear or anxiety, their vibration is not as smooth. It go like, it's almost like a lot of angle and very sharp, very uneven. And it look like they don't have like harmony or peace, or they don't have that consistency of vibration around them. So from a psychic point of view, that's the difference between someone who is calm and someone who have anxiety. Now, occasionally it doesn't mean that someone who is calm is not gonna feel anxious sometimes. They do sometimes. So right away you will see the vibration change, right? In this point, I would say the best method for me to share with you all, is to breathe. So when you feel anxiety is coming on, and then when you try to like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. The end of the world is coming. Oh, I have a cancer. Oh, something bad's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I've been coaching for a really long time. The most practical way, like, I can share with you all that you can instantly fix yourself is now breathe. So what I would suggest you to breathe, I share with many of my followers, is breathe with your nose and breathe your mouth. Now I want you to count. Your target is try to count as far as you can. If you can count to 15, I say you're doing good. But my ideal number is always count to 20 or 25. If you can measure yourself to count to 20 or 25, and you do that breathing about 3 times, you can almost instantly find out you calm so much more. The reason of that is then you are forcing your energy go from that, zigzag vibe to right away you will try to go to that mode again.
All right. I like that. I have a few things about to add to this. So those of you, and I mean, when I had PTSD many years ago, when my son went over the cliff and I thought we're not going to find his body, I had my first panic attack then, and this is how actually my well-managed mind system was born. But what I want to say about that for me, the breathing, once I started having panic attacks, did not work. So for those of you that might not work, it might work for 80% of people, and maybe there's going to be 20 or 10 or even 5 that it might not. So for those of you that it doesn't work, like I found, like they always used to tell me, like inhale deeply, and so you can also breathe very mildly. I like what you're saying with the counting, because I have a very busy mind, so that would totally help. And this week, like, yes, I work with a lot of doctors and nurses that are in the middle of COVID and are having anxiety. Some of them already had COVID, and now they're freaking out, neurologically issues and all that stuff when you start tingling with panic attacks. So those of you that are going through that right now, if you cannot, the deep breathing is not doing it for you, you can do the mild one, the mellow one, and the counting, and distract yourself, or you know, do any sort of like throwing away. I think I mentioned that last time. Throwing away, visualize if you can, and that's good too. And then I liked, like, I want to go back to the energetically when you were saying the vibration, because when you were describing like the nice one, and then the panic attack one or anxiety one, I was thinking of EKG, and and I guess it's not medical, but somehow it is, and somehow it is related, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that because the energy, we're all energy, and we always have been, and we know this since we were little, that energetically we have to somehow start healing ourselves, because all this fear is growing. It's not coming down. So I think that maybe the breathing, is there any other method that but I'm thinking as the whole world, like I'm not looking for a miracle thing here, but I'm just thinking, how can we as the whole world, like as all of us, as the community and everybody else, like what can we do? Like, can we just send each other hearts? Can we, there's so many visualizations of love, and energetically we can heal each other. So maybe if we all can do something positive, maybe we can heal this crazy thing. We can heal this crazy planet. I don't know. What's your view on it?
Well, my view is we spend years or centuries always try to give the vibe elsewhere, and the main process of it damage our own energy. But the reality is, it doesn't matter how much heart you send it out there. You never really know where it goes, how it goes, right? So I actually start to realize that instead of wasting energy elsewhere to someplace you don't know, if let's say I can have one day, have everybody just really focusing on themselves and really visualize it and sense that well-being of themselves, like everybody, everything would be okay. So imagine that. We often underestimate the power of little person, little us. What can we do to the world? But if all of us trigger that mindset at the same time, or even in the short period of time, everybody simply calm themselves down and really breathing in, really sense that, you know what, everything would be okay. I truly believe that collective energy of all of us will eventually calm what is, panicking elsewhere. That's my view, but what's yours, Dana?
No, I like it. I'm actually thinking that at the end of this broadcast, we could do a minute where we can say, everything will be okay.
Yes.
And maybe
we can, we can do a little practice exercise of breathing and really sense that.
Yeah, so, I like it. Well, no, I totally agree. Like since I was little, I remember thinking, we're all connected, and we are all kind of the same, but we're not, and that's the beauty of it. And I always thought, we should bring the best out of each other. But then things happen, and people, and then as you say, I like what you said, because I always think about it, because I think a lot of, especially, and I'm not saying just women, but a lot of people, they think of others, like the empaths, people that have so much empathy. They think, okay, I have to help somebody else. And a lot of times I find that all the intuitive, emotional people that are empathics, that they actually try to help when they are not asked to help. And so it's almost that good energy that they're sending out, that they are going to try to help to somebody, is being somehow transformed through of the receiving participant, and it's not received. So at some point, the good energy coming out is being transformed in less good energy of being received, and then the person that is sending it is actually suddenly not feel good about it either, and then it's like a big sabotage. So so I really liked when you said that we should actually think about ourselves and clear our energy and clear us and say everything's gonna be okay for me.
It's gonna be okay. And once that energy becomes strong, like imagining we are cell energy generator, right? Once that energy feed you enough and strong enough, it then start radiate out. So what happened is you will automatically benefit to the one who need to receive it. Instead of before, I constantly forcing my goodwill on the people who don't need it, right? So as you say, the process then become negative. It should come from goodwill, but then at the end, people are like, well, I don't need it. Thank you, but no thank you, right?
Yeah.
In this way, if you generate yourself well, and then you automatically will heal or help those people around you who needed it, and then they would receive it without even knowing they receive it. That's really, I find really magical between human energy.
Yeah. And you know, it's interesting because 12 years ago when I started this, I kind of like, I think that a lot of people that are intuitive, like they see what other people need, but then they start forcing it on them. And I remember I always thought, oh, I can help all these people, and then why they don't want to help, right? and it's true. I think it's like that in life, like with partners and with you know, with your children and everything. We somehow, because maybe we think we're more objective, or we're looking at it from a different point of view, or we don't have those emotions that the other person has. So maybe on some level we see more clearly. I don't know even if that's true, because it's true because we don't know what the other person needs, right?
And then very often we help in the perception that we have a perception of our own, that what we think that is bad may or may not be bad for that person. So when we try to help, we try to correct it into what we perceive is good. That may or may not be what they needed.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
So
I think that totally makes sense. So so basically for the next week we are going to be concentrating on clearing our energy, because when we know everything's going to be okay. So is this kind of like, I don't want to mix law of attraction into this, but is it kind of like at that point we're sending it out, we are good to go because we know everything's going to be okay. So we're not convincing anybody to do anything or help us or change anything. And so as that goes out, like only people that are ready to receive, or people that want to receive actually will hear you, right? Is that
only the people? Usually what happened, that what I noticed, I work with people, they focusing on concentrating on themselves and heal themselves. A lot of time they will go to the public area. They're not with intention to help people, but then they often got a comment saying, I feel so peace around you, or oh, I just like to hang out with you. So it's not like they want to heal anybody, but it just, they automatically carry like healing energy around them, that they would draw people to them.
Yes. And I guess it's the same like with my subconscious reprogramming. It's the same because people come back and say, oh, people are telling me, what have I done? I have changed and everything. So that's kind of similar, science versus concept here.
Wow.
So how does that work? So but that should work the same at home, right? Like from your point of view, like if you have a partner that there are some issues, or child that there are issues, like as long as you fix yourself and you know that you are safe, then you are the one that is basically okay, then they will start responding that way too.
They will slowly responding to that, especially the person you sleep with. What they don't know, what they do not know from a psychic point of view is during your sleeping, they will slowly, if your energy is so powerful, so strong, even though when they're awake, they look agitated or anxious. When you are sleeping, their soul will automatically try to get some of your healing energy. So they will kind of recovering themselves. So that's why a lot of time, many of you must notice by the time you wake up, all of a sudden you or the other half feel so much calmer, or all of a sudden they are like, oh, sorry for what I said last night. Sorry for being a jerk last night. It's because somehow, somewhere during the sleeping, they are sucking some of your energy in and self-healing themselves.
Oh my God, I wish we had time for this today. I'm gonna write it down because I do want to follow up on this.
We always have next week.
No, because what happens is that like when I pre-program for the night, the subconscious mind, because when we are consciously not there, it's easier subconsciously to heal. And I find that a lot of my clients, the panic attacks sometimes happen at night when the subconscious is in overload, right? And I went through that process like 12 years ago. So I kind of I think we should talk about this next time on my
wall.
wall.
Oh, sure, totally.
All right, everybody.
Bring it on.
Yeah, we have to wrap it up. Next week we are on Joanne's wall, Ruowen Huang, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Now.
Bye. Bye.